Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing everything that I ate today as well as how I prepared it. So I hope you guys enjoy, find this really helpful, get some healthy food ideas, and let's get started. So firstly, you guys probably know if you've watched any of my other What I Ate Todays, I always start my day by drinking lots of water. It's the first thing that goes into my body in the morning. It's such an amazing way to start the day, and it just rehydrates your whole system after being asleep for so many hours. Plus it gets your digestive system going, and it just gives me a nice burst of natural energy in the morning. On to breakfast, I usually have oats, but sweet potatoes are another one of my favorite things to have in the morning. They're also really simple and easy to prepare, plus they're of course super nutritious and full of good fiber and vitamins. So I'm placing 2 in the oven. I usually just have 1, but I always like to make extra portions whenever I'm cooking, and I will let those bake for about an hour or so, and I'll continue with my morning routine or with whatever I'm doing. And during this time I will also make myself a green smoothie, and I'll have this before I eat the sweet potato, and this is an amazing way to get in greens into your diet. I highly recommend having a green smoothie every single morning. For the ingredients, I love spinach. Kale is also really good as well. They're both super rich in vitamin K, vitamin A, iron, protein, plus greens are super alkalizing. They also help to reduce the inflammation in the body. I also add in the juice of 1 lemon, which is a great source of vitamin C. I love ginger as well. Turmeric is also really good for you, so I just put in a little piece, and then I chop up an apple. I also add in a banana, some plant-based protein powder, some wheatgrass powder, and barley grass powder. So this particular recipe is quite green, especially with the kale. That's just how I like it, but you can definitely make it sweeter by blending in some frozen mango as well. I just ran out, so I didn't have any, but frozen mango is really good, and frozen bananas are great as well. They make the smoothie a little bit cool and really creamy. But getting in greens first thing in the morning is so beneficial to your entire body. It's going to make you glow, it's going to give you lots of energy, and it's great for helping to control sugar cravings throughout the day. It's also really good for your digestion because of all of that fiber, and just in general you're getting in a whole bunch of vitamins and nutrients that you might not have gotten without a smoothie or a juice. So I highly recommend it. Just keep the ingredients simple, experiment with different quantities of different things to make it taste really good for you, and then I'll pour myself a nice big jar, and I'll also leave some for later. So I just put it in a smaller one, and I will either have that like in the afternoon, I might have it the next morning. So going back to the sweet potatoes, it's been about an hour now that they've been baking, and you know that they're done when you can easily stick a fork through them. So I just take one out, I turn the oven off, and I leave the other one in there for later. Sometimes Mo will have it, sometimes I'll have it for lunch. Again, I always like to make extra portions so that, you know, if I'm in a rush or I just don't feel like cooking, there's always something healthy to eat. And look at that beautiful color. That's all the beta carotene in the sweet potato, which is converted by our bodies to vitamin A, which is so beneficial to the skin in particular, because vitamin A is essentially retinol, which is what we pay so much money for in skincare to put topically on our skin, but you can actually eat retinol and have it nourish your skin from the inside out. So sweet potatoes are amazing for that. So of course you can eat them plain, but I also like to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on top. Some organic raw honey is also great. I also love a teaspoon of almond butter, which is so delicious, and sprinkled with some chia seeds and some crushed walnuts. And you'll have a really simple, quick, and nutritious breakfast that's also really warming and comforting, but still so good for you. I would highly recommend trying this out. On to lunch, I made myself a really delicious quinoa, veggie, spinach salad type of thing. So the first step is just to prepare the quinoa, which is super straightforward and easy. You just take 1 part quinoa to 2 parts water. I let that come to a boil, and then I just lower the heat to let it simmer, and make sure that the pot is covered, and you just leave it like that until the water has been totally absorbed. Whilst that's cooking, I'm just going to prepare some veggies. You can use any veggies that you like. This is what I had in my kitchen. I'm really into zucchini, mushrooms, and of course some onion and garlic are so great with any veggie combination as well. They add a lot of flavor and they're also just really good for you as well. So I just chop everything up really simply. And then I take about a teaspoon of coconut oil and I just spread that around in my pan with a little cooking brush. I just like to do this to make sure it's spread out evenly, and it also allows you to use less oil. And I first fry the onion and garlic and I just let that simmer for a little bit. And then I add in the rest of the veggies and just let those cook. Once the quinoa is done, you can see here that it's nice and fluffy. I'm gonna add a tomato sauce on top. It can be like a tomato basil sauce, like a pasta sauce. I just pour that on top, and I always like to put a little bit of water in the end, kind of shake it up to make sure that I really get all of the tomato sauce out of there. Then I season it with some fresh black pepper and some pink Himalayan sea salt, and your quinoa is done. And quinoa is a great source of plant-based protein. It's a complete protein, so it's got all of your essential amino acids, plus it just tastes really good and goes well with so many dishes. So I'm having this on a bed of baby spinach, another great way to sneak in some greens, and then placing the veggies on top of the quinoa, which I also seasoned with some pepper and pink salt. And on top of that, to make this even more delicious and healthy, I sliced up half an avocado, and this one was so beautiful. Avocados are of course such a great source of healthy fat, and they contribute nearly 20 vitamins and minerals, so it's really a nutrient dense food as well. And then I just sprinkled a bit of lemon juice on top, again some fresh black pepper, and there is my lunch. Again, really straightforward, nothing too fancy or complicated, but it still tastes really good, and it's full of vitamins and nutrients and good fiber and good protein, so it's kind of like this little power bowl. This is something else I would highly recommend trying out. And then after lunch, I love me some tea. I mean, I love tea all day long. Now I just made myself some green tea, and I'm having this with a delicious bliss ball. These are made mainly out of dates and oats, and then they're rolled in coconut. I do have a full recipe for this on my blog, so I will have that linked below, but it's a really healthy little treat to have during the day or as a dessert after lunch or dinner. So on a normal day, I would usually just have leftovers for dinner, like the sweet potato from breakfast with some more of the quinoa, and just kind of throw something together. But I want to show you another great, really simple and healthy food idea, which is just to lightly steam some broccoli and then have that with a delicious pasta on the side. So the pasta I'm going to use is actually made of 100% red lentils, which I think is so cool. So it's totally gluten-free, and it's actually quite rich in protein from all the lentils. So I'm placing that in some boiling water for about 5 to 6 minutes. So it actually cooks quite quickly, which is very convenient. And then I just pour out the water once it's ready. And by this point, the broccoli should be done as well. I don't like it to be overly cooked, just kind of lightly steamed. And then I fill half of our bowls with the broccoli and then the other half with the lentil pasta. So this way you really get the best of both worlds, and it's so good. I just sprinkled some nutritional yeast on top, which has a very like parmesan-y type of flavor, and that was our dinner, and Mo really likes this as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed and found this really helpful and gotten some good food ideas. Let me know if you would like to see more videos like this. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.